I want to take a side note for just a second, because I think this is really important to my atheist and agnostic friends, and we've seen a number of you join our community over the years. Some of you surrendered your life to Christ and grow in faith now, and you believe in Jesus and been baptized, and it's awesome. That's how God works, and he loves you right where you are. But the idea that faith and science, we want to separate those two, both in the Christian community with my Christian friends and with my atheist friends, historically, that hasn't been the case. In fact, I would argue that Christianity and the monotheistic faith laid a lot of the healthy groundwork that enabled scientific discovery, because you were allowed to actually experiment on things in our world because there wasn't a god or goddess of every tree or rock or being. All that aside, it was Albert Einstein who actually said that there shouldn't be a conflict between our faith and science. He writes this: a legitimate conflict between science and religion cannot exist. This is Albert Einstein. He goes on to say, science without religion is lame. Not that it's not cool. It doesn't have legs. It can't walk. It doesn't work. Religion without science is blind. These magi had studied the stars, and their scientific discovery is actually what led them to come there and to discover the reality of Jesus and eventually to worship him. In fact, a little side note again, many of the great scientists throughout human history actually had a belief in God. I'll name just a few. Copernicus believed in him. Galileo believed in him. Johannes Kepler believed in him. And one of my favorite, you should love him, James Simpson. Anybody ever heard of James Simpson before? Okay, one, Connor, thank you. My mentor used to talk about, all of you should love James Simpson. I loved him a week and a half ago. You know why? Because he discovered anesthesiology. Who's glad that James Simpson existed? He discovered that, his great scientific discovery, but what he claimed was the most important discovery I ever made, he said, is when I discovered Jesus Christ. Even in modern times, Francis Collins, the head of the Human Genome Project, is a devout follower of Jesus. That the magi, these learned men, these ancient astronomers, it was their scientific discovery that led them there on that day to discover Jesus. Why? Because God isn't just the God that we read about in the Bible. God is the God of the universe. And just to show off, when Jesus is born into the world, he creates this astronomical anomaly that just points to the place of his birth. How cool is that?